Hi, I'm Martin Caraher. I'm Professor Emeritus of Food and Health Policy at the Centre for Food Policy at City University in London. Prior to COVID hitting and lockdown happening, destitution was rising. We knew that from 2015, the numbers in poverty have gone up. And the numbers in food poverty, if we use crude indicators such as food bank users, were on the rise. COVID, of course, has exacerbated that for all sorts of reasons, which you will know about. I want to talk about what's happened to household indebtedness during the COVID crisis. Up until 2018, 2019, the average household debt was running at about 14,000. During the COVID crisis, because people couldn't spend, in the UK, there's been an accumulation of savings of £150 billion. And the government are banking on at least 50 billion of that being spent in the post-recovery period, which will boost the economy. However, hidden within that 150 billion of savings is an inequality, with those on low incomes, the gig economy, those who were put on furlough, those who weren't eligible for furlough, have used their savings up and have increased their household debt by taking on loans. In the first stage of the crisis, a number of credit card companies stopped their credit cards and access of low-income people to those credit cards, just meaning that they couldn't order online and they couldn't do what they had done in past times. They couldn't use credit to tide them over one period to another. So this has driven people further into debt by using payday loans. There's been two companies who've been massively campaigning and aggressively selling door-to-door doorstep loans. This has risen the indebtedness of low-income families to about £20,000 per household. So during the crisis, they've not had access to credit and they've had to take out payday loans, often at incredible prices. So they would take out a £1,500 loan and have to pay back £3,000. When they couldn't pay back, the doorstep lenders lent them more. So they were using one loan to pay off another. Now, this is an implication for food and food poverty, because we know in the budget that what happens is that people compromise on the food budget when they're short on money. And that has long-term consequences, so people will suffer ill health in the long term. But during the crisis, about 15% of families reported eating less and missing a meal during the week. And of course, mainly that burden fell on mothers. So coming out of the crisis, what we need to be aware of is that those on low incomes and in the gig economy, on zero-hour contracts, who may go back into employment, and indeed many of those coming off furlough, will have used up their savings. There's no savings there. And they will have to use their work earnings to pay off loans accumulated during lockdown. So this has a direct impact on food security and their ability to afford a healthy diet. And what we need is the government to recognise this and do what a number of MPs are calling for, which is extend universal credit benefits by £20 a week, but recognise that households are in debt and it will take time for this to be paid off. And we need to extend services such as free school meals to families. But we also need to go back to the root cause of this and address issues of employment in these sectors, such as hospitality and the gig economy, so that people have an adequate income and that ensures that they can feed their families. So there's this call for action. Thank you for listening, and do read the articles on site which update the situation.